Hello friends, welcome back to the new tutorial of the React Native. Today we are going to learn about how to create the counter app with the React Native and the Redux Saga. Those who haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel, and if you like the video, please do like, share and comment on my video. So let's get started. So here, first of all, we are going to create a new application with the React Native. So let's go to the terminal, hit this command. It will create the basic React Native application. After this, we have to go to the project structure. It will take hardly 1 to 2 minutes to install the dependencies. Done. CD counter app. After that, we have to install the dependencies. So install the React, Redux, and the Redux Saga. Okay. Then we have to create the source directory, then actions and the reducers. So just copy this and add it here. Okay. Now open the code. Okay. Then we have a source. Then we have actions and the reducers. Then we have to create the saga.js. Then in the source actions we have to create this actions. So here we go with your actions. So let's add it. So we have the increment and the decrement. Okay, the next one we have the reducers. So let's create a reducers over here. So here we have a reducers. Let's add the reducers, right? Then we have a saga. So let's create the saga.js also in the source. In the source we will create a new file saga.js, and let's copy this. Okay, so let's break down this file. Okay, so the saga.js file in a Redux Saga application defines and manage the asynchronous logic for the handling the actions. Okay, so first one, let's take every and the put. This one, take every and the increment decrement. We are going to this one. What exactly it is? Take every and the put are the functions provided by the Redux Saga to create sagas that listen for the specific actions and dispatch new actions. Okay, increment decrement are the action types imported from the action.js file. Okay, then we have a increment async and the decrement async. If I go increment async and decrement async, okay, so what exactly they are the generator function that represents individual sagas. Increment async, decrement async are triggered when increment async and decrement async actions are dispatched respectively. So when the increment async and the decrement async actions are dispatched respectively, then they are going to be triggered. Inside each saga, the put function is used to dispatch an action. Okay, so there is a put saga, right? So inside the each saga, there the put function is used to dispatch an action. Here you can see that there is a put, right? So inside each saga, the put function is used to dispatch an action, specifically increment and decrement. Okay, respectively, this triggers the actual state updates in the Redux store. Okay, then we have a watch sagas, watch increment and the watch decrement. Okay, so these generator functions are responsible for watching the specific actions and running all the corresponding sagas. Take every is used to listen increment async and decrement async actions when these actions are dispatched. The associated saga increment async and the decrement async are executed. Then we have a root saga, then the default function, watch increment and the watch decrement. This is the root saga that combines all the individual sagas. It is a generator function exported as a root saga. Within the root saga, it yields an array of watch increment and the watch decrement. This effectively starts both watch increment and the watch decrement sagas, enabling them to listen for handle action. So they are listening to handle the actions. Okay. So the saga.js file is used to define the sagas that handle asynchronous actions. In this case, it is listens the increment async and the decrement async actions, and when they occur, it triggers the corresponding sagas increment async and decrement async to update the Redux stored state by dispatching the increment and the decrement actions. This separation of concerns allows you to manage the asynchronous logic and the side effects in a clean, structured way in your Redux application. Okay, then we have configured the Redux and the Redux Saga in your application. So this is index.js file. Just copy this index.js. So here we have an index.js file. Okay, then we have a create your app component. So let's put the app component over here. Okay, so where we app component, let's rename this with the ts or js. Okay, save this. Okay, so everything I think we have done. Let's run the application. So first we will make a build. So here we go with the terminal and let's create the build. One thing I have left over here, that is the Android local properties. So I will go over here and just add the local properties. So where is the project? I think error will come soon. So it's counter app. So where we have the counter app. So let's paste it. Okay. Now you can see before it is showing me the error of that one. So let's run this. Okay, in the next file we will run the React Native port. So this is also important. Server. So app is installed, and here we go with the index. It will open. So it will show me the error. Unload the this one. So here we go with this. Let's reload this application and add our port and all. Go to the settings, debug. I'm going to add our port over here. Okay, and then we will reload this application. Okay, now you can see that we have an increment and the decrement counter app. So first we will the increment, then decrement, then you can see that increment application, then we have a decrement. Okay, we have decrement, right? Increment. So this is how the apps works. Okay, so let's dive into the code level. We have already discussed the saga.js. Let's discuss the rest of the files. Then we have a reducers. You can see that we have a combined reducers from the Redux, and then we increment from that actions. So here we have an increment and the decrement. So when there is an increment, type increment and the type decrement. So these are the actions files. Then we have a reducers. Increment is called and increment is called. Okay, then the last we have a root reducers, and this is a count where count reducer is there. Then export that one as a root reducer. Okay, then we have a saga. We have already discussed about the saga, what exactly they are doing. Main thing app.js file. So whenever there is a on press this dot props dot increment. Okay, so we have in the actions increment and the decrement part. Here there is a map state to props. Then we have a count state. So we are updating the state of that count, and dispatch we have increment and the decrement. So this thing is gonna be dispatching increment and the decrement. Okay, so increment and the decrement are going to be dispatches. Then it will go to the saga and put the type increment, and we have a reducer where we have a logic like if you click on the increment part, the state will gonna be updated with +1, and we go with the decrement, the state will gonna be the 1 minus with 1, subtraction with 1. Okay, so after, so the funda is that we have a button. Okay, that's, this is on press. So this dot props dot increment, we are calling the actions increment part. Okay, so it will go to the actions, then we have an increment and the decrement. Okay, and here we can see that we have a map state to props and map dispatch to props. Okay, so here we go with the increment actions, and here we have a reducers also for this increment from the decrement action. So when they are calling, so it will update the state with 1 and the -1. What is then we have a type, you can see that there is an increment and decrement actions also. So whenever there is an increment, so it will go with the increment this function. Okay, you can see the increment, and the increment type is this one. So this increment in the reducers, you can see that we have the actions defined over here. Okay, so on the behalf of it, it will doing the increment async or decrements async. Okay, so this saga.js file is basically used for calling the asynchronous actions. Okay, so here you can call the api and store that one state and call it via reducers. Okay, and in the main app.js file you can do with the dispatch functions also. Okay, so this is basically the counter application with the React Redux Saga. Any doubt, any query in that, to let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.